it this time.
Man, I'm doing it?
No, I'm doing it.
Okay.
My turn. What is up, guys? I'm Lucas DeSilva here with Jason Fulmore. This is episode 3 of season 3 of Essie and Scrappy. Couple of just quick things before we get into the couple of weeks of wrestling. I'm gonna throw this at the front end of the show just because I'll even overlay it. If anyone is in Northeast Georgia / South Carolina, this Sunday, Scrappy Championship Wrestling returns, spooky season. We've already beaten our pre-sale ticket record. The card is stacked top to bottom. If you are able and you are a pro wrestling fan or at least curious of pro wrestling, it's my company, of course, so I'm going to put it over, but I highly recommend giving it a chance. It's a sick card, genuinely. Some of the top stars from the state of Georgia and Carolinas, NWA superstars in attendance, and Alexander Lev, and some other surprises. So I just want to throw that at the front end before we get into the good stuff, what y'all are probably here for. We are going to talk about War of the Roses, the Grappler Fall Classic, and Who's Number One, which we are looking forward to. Jason, how are you doing today, bud?
I'm not bad, busy, working a lot, kind of just running around, kind of like you are.
Yep.
I want to go ahead and, for those of you who don't know, I mean, I'm not a professional wrestling fan myself, but Cody Rhodes has a connection to amateur wrestling. I mean, that's a name that everybody knows, um, you know, in
Chad
Georgia
Gable.
wrestling and that sort of thing. So, there's a lot of overlap and those sorts of things. If you're going, to have a good time and those sorts of things, I suggest you check it out. That'd be pretty awesome.
I say this to everyone that I've brought to a show. If you go to pro wrestling expecting a fight, it's not what you're looking for. But if you go there expecting to be entertained and enjoy the athleticism and the storytelling, I genuinely believe I can make a pro wrestling fan out of anyone, especially at my shows, because my cards are a little bit more written for a grittier pro wrestling style that more aligns with amateur wrestling and MMA and whatnot.
And as a storyteller, Lucas can we what we've a
Weave a web, I guess would be the
like,
right
yeah,
word.
whatever you say it. All right.
Yeah.
Spin a yarn, I think
Oh,
is the
there you
thing.
go. But
All
all
right.
right.
So, before we go, I want to say, number one, I have the Substack going. So if you guys want information on Georgia and everything else and the Southeast, but
Yep.
primarily Georgia, Florida, and Alabama, make sure you go over there and check it out. And shout out to Lucas, because Lucas did a write up for the Elite Eight, and it was a brain dump, and it was great. You did an excellent job. I didn't know you could actually put words together, but that was great.
Brother,
No, I
all
know
I
you
do
could
is
put
talk.
words together talking. I just didn't know
That's
you could
fair.
write them.
And just to kind of preview, my next brain dump is going to be what, because I also get these brain dumps and what ifs in my brain. I am going to talk about, and I'll probably post it this week, what would happen if Georgia high school wrestling had promotion and relegation similar to European soccer. I'm going wild. I had a really crazy idea and I started writing it down, so now we're screwed. So now I'm doing it. So look forward to that.
Wow. Wow. All right. So that's actually quite interesting. Very
People are
interesting.
going to be annoyed.
We're going to start with War of the Roses. We're going to actually recap a couple of events that mostly, I mean, we're going to talk about mostly Georgia wrestlers. I will
Yeah.
talk about some around the Southeast, but um, there were a couple teams, or at least the Morris team I know
Yep.
headed out to War of the Roses.
Morris and Storm from Georgia, the way it went down, the highest placers were Charlie Angels Pink. They got second in the silver pool. I just want to throw this out there because I'm gonna do this. Can we not have 26 weight classes at a dual meet? Like, I kind of understand it because, you started up high or down low, but whatever the case may be, because these dual scores of 96-46 is kind of ridiculous. Uh, but shout out Charlie's Angels Pink. They came in what I think would be 10th place. Charlie's Angels Black ended up, or excuse me, Storm Wrestling ended up 5th place in the bronze pool. They ended up matching up with Charlie's Angels Black on the backside of it. Quick shout out to some of my girls that went through to the event on some of these teams. Shout out Inzalaco and Altman from down South Georgia. Love them. They're both studs. Ella Hughes went with Storm. Nora Garbazovas went with Storm. She had a great weekend. Hannah Crow, shout out my girl there. She went Storm, had a great weekend in her own right. But those three and the Mendoza sisters as well. Quick, shout out to them. Honestly, a great weekend. I love War of the Roses. Don't be surprised if you see Scrappy Worldwide there next year. I'd love to do that event. It seems to be a great event every year for the South. Also, Tennessee AAU Havoc Gold. They had a good run in the bronze pool. North Carolina Gold. They ended up in the copper pool, but I also, if I'm not mistaken, they had some holes. So I'm, it is what it is. When you have holes, you kind of make best what you can. The best finish, I believe, there was though the Charlie's Angels Pink. They had a great tournament.
So I will say this, like one of the things that I think is, so I saw it at Deep South duels, and that obviously the high school boys were wrestling kind of their duels and that sort of thing. But on the girls' side, there were little girls all the way up to the bigger girls, and the older girls, I should say, and some of the best pictures I got was the interaction of the high schoolers kind of talking to the middle school or even the upper elementary school girls and that sort of thing. And I think especially since girls wrestling is so new, that fostering of kind of camaraderie and community with their girls is really, really good. 26 weights, probably a little too many. I mean, I don't know how long a duel took.
Yeah, I would imagine the duels went long, but if you're doing freestyle, then in the grand scheme of things, you'll be able to get through duels rather quick. Still some nonsense. Like, don't misunderstand me. 26 is ungodly, but
and it's tough for a coach. I mean, trying to fill all those weights.
Oh, I don't even want to know how ridiculous that was. I don't even want to know.
All right. So let's pivot over to the Grappler Fall Classic, and I'll be honest with you, like it moved to Ohio this year. I didn't actually pay as close attention to it because I've been doing a few other things, but Georgia had a particularly good showing. Florida with Lake Highland Prep had a particularly good showing. I think Lake Highland Prep might have had like 4 champs in a row at the high school elite division, but at the Georgia side, Roundtree's just hammering people down low at the low weights. I mean, dude.
Bro, let's talk. Let's go in order here for a minute. So, I want to throw a mention in the high school varsity division. I want to throw just some love to my boy Danny Crutelis. Bro gets runner up and was banged up, bro. But again, showed a whole bunch of heart. Got his way through to the finals. Absolute nothing but respect for that kid. That's a kid, if you don't know him, he's on the way up. He's one of them ones.
And one of the things I want to point out, for those of you that don't know, they start with the high school elite division. The varsity division starts kind of more in the afternoon of that same day. So if you go out and you wrestle in the elite division, and let's say you don't get kind of what you came for, it's really nice to make that entire trip to be able to then slot right into that varsity tournament and, kind of continue to march through. Because I think Danny, he might have went 3-2 or 4-2 on the elite side.
I think so, yeah.
But it's so good to be able to get, another 7 matches, on the varsity side. So I think that's really cool.
But when we talk about Roundtree, Mills, champ. Araya Mills, champ. Cody Clark, champ. On the girl side, Ella Hughes basically ran through the turn. Ella Hughes, my God, you want to talk about a girl whose stock is continuing to rise every time she steps on a mat? Goodness, that girl is a dog.
Yeah, well, and she's been everywhere. She went to War of the Roses. She's been at Grappler Fall Classic.
She's doing all the right things to have a great season and really do some numbers. I want to mention Derek Kiefer, a kid I'm super high on. He went in place, got himself 6th place, looked really, really good. TQ Mills got third at 113 pounds.
Mhm.
Another guy like Jackson Moffitt up at 175. He went 2-2, but had a good weekend. DJ Clark won 3 in a row and then forfeited out. I hope
Yep.
everything's all right with him. That's my boy, obviously.
Yep.
But a really good showing for Georgia in the Southeast. I mean, a lot of Southeast guys made the finals. Out of Lake Highland, or not Lake Highland, Lake Gibson, Jeremiah Chavis of a 215 got to the
Yeah. Well,
finals.
and there's your professional wrestling connection again. Because if you guys don't know, his dad is Tatanka. Is that how you say his name?
Yep, Tatanka. Yep.
And if you ever cross him on Facebook, I will tell you what, he is 100 promotion about promotion of Jeremiah, as well he should be. I mean, it's his
Of
kid and
course.
everything else. But I'll tell you what, he brings that kind of pro wrestling promotion thing to it.
Which
And
I think we're starting to get to a point where that's what you need. Man, I want to throw something out there.
well, and look at RAF and like, I mean, look at the national duels that, I mean, they just did a reveal show and all these sorts of things.
I was about to go to RAF for a reason. Muggsy got announced to wrestle Caden Henschel. That should be a great match. And people were dogging on the fact that Muggsy's on the card because, oh, you didn't wrestle in college. This, let me make something really clear. You old backwards curmudgeons. Let me, no, because this is one of this is one of the conversations that pisses me off. That dude is doing so much for this sport in terms of getting guys out there. Shout out JJ Howland for a second. He went down to Legacy and wrestled with Vera Spencer, put her over, and did all these things. And we're gonna dog on this guy just because he doesn't meet your standard. Don't kick rocks. I really don't care. Like, that's what we need more of in this sport. That's what's gonna make this sport grow. The level of wrestling can go to the highest of highs, but as long as we don't promote this sport and promote our athletes, we're going to be stuck where we are, where it plays ninth fiddle in most states to football, baseball, basketball. We're going to be stuck in this jam. We need to promote ourselves, and a guy like Muggsy does nothing but do good for this sport.
Yeah,
Off my
well,
soapbox.
I agree with you. I mean, if we're
Because I'm
I mean,
right. You should agree
even
with
if
me.
we're just comparing it not to professional wrestling, but even if we're just comparing it to UFC, I mean, it does an absolutely great job of promoting their athletes, of promoting the sport, of all these different things. So, I mean, the truth is, we've got to figure that out and how to make that really really good for the sport because we have a product that I think it can. I think it would be really cool to the average person. They just don't know. So,
Agreed.
um,
I think we're getting to that point. We're doing better. The RAF is incredible. Shout out to Claw pushing the envelope and doing
yes,
different things.
yeah,
I think as a whole, we're going to start to see a turn. I don't want to give too much of what I'm planning on doing, but there are things coming in Georgia that I'm working with people on to promote our guys and girls. Um, it's just one of those things. I think we need to continue to push this and dogging on this guy. I get it. There might have been better technical candidates. I completely agree with that. But you could ask my wifey, who knows more about the MMA world than I do. You can be amazing. If you are boring and don't sell tickets, the UFC will cut your ass quick.
well,
They
it
just
will.
will. They
It,
they will. I mean, we've seen it with guys. So
right.
for me, I don't care. I want entertainment and I want it brought up just to help, especially the younger ones that are on the come up. I mean, shout out to you, Amber Cloy, Tyree, Hunter Daniel, these guys that are doing these cool media things to make guys feel like a star. Elite Eight every year makes
Hmm.
these athletes feel like a star. Super 32 promotes the environment. The finals, the fact that they let everyone crowd the mat.
It's cool.
There are a
Yeah.
couple of tournaments that do it. We need more of it. It's going to sound stupid. I know what people are going to say. I want more tournaments with smoke entrances. I want more, because I don't think we need the big arenas. I think where people get mixed up is like, oh, but then we have to pay for big venues. No, I think we take a high school and we turn it into a big venue. Get the right, instead of spending X amount of dollars to be in some stupid hockey arena that we all hate, go to the
Well,
Buford Arena for God's sakes.
well, you
I'm using
won't
that
be
as
in
an
a
example.
hockey arena this year.
True, very true. We're in a new location. Maybe, God forbid, maybe the GHSA is doing something to promote wrestling. Maybe we're going somewhere, but we'll see. I'm excited for the opportunity of not being in Macon, back to a 4-day state tournament. GHSA
Well,
giveth, they taketh away.
two
Two
and
and two.
two.
Yeah, but like I won't be
It's
able to.
still 4 days for those of us who are covering it, but
But
for
point being, I will say this, and how dare I, but the GHSA actually doing something super positive. I can't believe I just said those words, but moving it out of Macon. Double thumbs up from DeSilva. Like, double
hey,
thumbs
you
up.
know what? I'm not giving any thumbs up yet. I want to see how it all plays out in the new facility.
I think the only way it could be worse is if we were in Donbass, Ukraine. I think that's the only way it could be worse than Macon. I think anything is an improvement from Macon. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to be
All right,
honest.
so I want to go. I want to go back to the high school elite, and I want to
Of course.
basically, or the Grappler Fall Classic, really quick. Tyler Herring, Kellen McCormick, Gabe Burns, Nathan Manos, in addition to Danny Crutellus and DJ, all wrestled really, really well. They didn't actually make the podium as far as on the elite side, but wrestled really, really well. But I want to turn your attention to the bracket, and that is 120
Of course.
pounds elite bracket. Headlined the top seed was Liam Davis, nationally ranked. He ran all the way into let's see. There's the semis, there's the quarters. All right, so in the round of 16, you had Cooper MacArthur and Nathan Lytle wrestling. Absolutely two studs. Lytle beats him. Liam Davis then beats Nathan Lytle. Down on the number 4 seed Cody Clark coming through, and then beats Liam Davis 4-0. On the bottom side, you had Lazaro Soto beating Jose Cordero. You had Chaz Robinson
That
out of
bracket was ridiculous, top to
Illinois.
bottom.
The level of competition of the bracket at 120 pounds, and the fact that you had a freshman, okay, make like not. I mean, he didn't just make a run. He beat like stud after stud after stud to claim that title and was awarded the outstanding wrestler of the tournament
As he should have been.
because of how good that bracket was.
Absolutely. Just a hell of a Grappler Fall Classic every year is a great tournament. And I'll even go as far as say one of the more underrated tournaments of the year. It doesn't always get a lot of press, but it's a great event.
I
And,
agree.
and it's a great lead up to Super 32. You almost get a preview of like some of the matchups you might see at Super 32. There's almost a weird trend. Look at the finals that you get at Grappler. Both of those guys, I looked last year because
Well,
I was
they're going to
curious.
be in the hunt. I mean, they're going to be in the
A
8
lot
or
of
the.
those guys make the quarters around
That's
the
right.
16 at least. So it kind of gives you a good preview of the type of guys who will be hunting for a podium.
Absolutely, absolutely. Couple other things. Natalie Lepestro from Level
Dog,
Up won at
dog.
100 pounds. Caroline Hilton out of Tennessee won at 130 pounds. South Day girls had a ton of girls up there. Man,
Yep,
they look good. Give you an idea. Giovanni Solis took third after losing in ultimate tiebreaker, I think, in the semifinals. So the
yep.
level of competition is super, super good. I got one question for you before we switch to who's number one. And that is, I'm running across the names, right, of all the different kids and everything else. And one of them was named Rain the Head Case Scott. Okay. Now, obviously, her parent put in the head case because they registered her as that. What is that about, man?
When I tell you I would drop kick my mother, but like when I tell you I would full extension, like start throwing fisticuffs at my mother.
Lucas the head case DeSilva. I mean, what in the world? That would be crazy, right?
Very.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so now we switch gears. Who's
Yep.
number one? And you know what? We have a number one. First and foremost, you were around when Who's Number One was what was being selected. I mean, it was a thing when you were wrestling in high school.
Yep.
How big was it for you guys? Was it something you paid as much attention to, or is it really the only elite that are really paying attention to it?
Hang on.
Yes,
Hang
I
on.
did call you not elite.
You know, Jason, see, you're one of these ones that just because I'm media man, you get me all the way fucked up. Bro, oh, God, I'll have to censor that. Anyways, well, let's make something real clear. Go look at those guys from Elite Eight around the time I was there. Yeah, check records against me. That's all I'm going to say. Throw that out there. Point
You
being, but
understand?
not since you
You
no, no, no.
understand?
But
You understand my
anyways,
question, though. You understand my question.
I'm getting there. Answer your question. I mean, it was something we paid attention to, but at the end of the day, it I was in the teens and I was ranked in the double digits. I was close to being in the single digits in my senior year, but I wasn't. So it wasn't really something that was per se on my radar. I wanted to try to get in it, but just never made it. But I don't think it's
Mhm.
necessarily as much paid attention to by the wrestlers. I think it's more almost paid attention to by like college coaches. It's more of just I think it's really just a big recruiting showcase more than
Well, and
anything.
honestly, it's a showcase event, and we talk about showcasing the sport, so that's a great thing. But it's not. I mean, most of the wrestlers, both men and women, are there. They've already decided where they're going. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's not even that we're highlighting the who's number one of the freshman class or something along those lines, who would
Yeah.
definitely be being recruited.
I
So
think what's interesting is this year specifically, they've done a great job of picking the top. There have been years where guys ranked 4, 5, 6. I mean, the year that they had a four-man bracket, I think one of them going into it was number 7 or number 8. I believe the lowest seed here is the number 3 ranked kid in the country. So shout out to them for picking and getting everyone scheduled on hand. And
well,
most importantly for us, whole bunch of Southeastern talent.
and the two number threes that are on the list, at least on the boys' side, we saw both of them compete at Elite Eight.
Elite Eight.
And Michael Mako, who is one of the Southeast that you're talking about, gets a rematch with Kobe Merrill, who he lost to in Fargo. And it's a different beast to be wrestling folk style as opposed to freestyle. And Mako just looked great.
Absolutely. But I want to like looking top to bottom. 2 p.m. Central Center Time, Standard Time, the girls kick off. Number 1 ranked in the country, Riley Sturgill. She takes on Jersey's own Bella Mono. That match is going to be super tough. A little bit down the way, Ella Patello out of New Jersey. She's number 1 at 155 pounds. She takes on a super tough Janiyah Johnson. So both the Southeastern girls are Cleveland products. Shout out Boskin in
Well, no,
Tennessee.
Janai is not a Cleveland product.
Or not, I meant to say oh
Tennessee
goodness me.
product. Yes. Yeah,
Tennessee
absolutely.
products. Shout out to what Boskin and who is where's
Um,
Janiyah out of in Tennessee? Why am I losing my mind?
Janaya is out of more like the Nashville area, but I don't know what her
I
club
don't
is
know.
or
I
what
forget where
group they're
she
in.
trains, but shout out to her and her crew. I mean, they're monsters. Then you go to the boys' side. That kicks off at 5:30 Eastern. Not a Southeastern match, but I just want to throw this out there. Pick off the boys with Rockland Zinkin versus Dom Monaretto. Jesus Christ. That's a match to start off with. Down the way, 126 pounds, Antonio Mills, number 1 ranked wrestler in the land. He takes on Paul Kenny out of New Jersey.
A
That
rematch from
match should be
Fargo.
fireworks.
But I mean, let's be honest. Okay, let's actually take a second here. Is there anyone wrestling better than Antonio Mills is right now? I mean,
I think the closest one to him is
his
his
Uriah.
brother Uriah, which is the craziest sentence in the world. But shout out Roundtree, shout out the Mills. Like This is a dynasty in the state of Georgia in the making. Athens Christian might just look to make us a real run at national preps. We'll get there when we get there, but boy, national preps looks incredible. 138 pounds. We'll see Kellen Wolbert out of Wisconsin. He takes on Tyler DeCraker.
Deckracker, I think, but you know
Deckracker,
what?
I
I
could be
don't
wrong.
know.
Where
I
is he
don't
out
know.
of in Florida? I'm not as familiar with him.
So Tyler is actually a Virginian who is
But
now
by way of, let me guess, Lake Highland.
down at Lake Highland Prep,
Of course he is.
and there.
Why not?
So, yeah.
Then we'll see, obviously, you mentioned 285 pounds, Merrill and Mako. That match should be fireworks. And then your main event of the evening, which I am going to go on record. This might be the single greatest Elite Eight match put together. Number one ranked wrestler in the country at 144 pounds, Jordan Rainey. He will wrestle the number one ranked wrestler in the land at 150 pounds, Bo Bassett. That match right there
Is worth the price of admission.
in of itself is
That's right.
That match is worth the price of admission. The winner of Sinkin and Monaretto versus Sit-In, a match that's not getting as much hype, but boy, that a match that could be ridiculous is Medlin and Howard at 157. On the girls' side, Everest Ledecker versus Esponza Ellison, and to boot, Fernandez and Lucio just above that. There are so many good matches on this Elite Eight. I don't know if I'd go as far as say it's the greatest who's number one ever, but boy this
it's
card
close. It's
close. I'd love to know the average ranking of this card in comparison to previous ones. I'd be curious.
It's a great question because if you look at the girls, it is all 1 versus 2, except for 105 pounds, where it's 2 versus 3 with Bazekis and Delgado. But I think both Bazekis and Delgado have been number one at one point in time.
I think I'm gonna Iggy. I'm gonna do a brain dump probably this weekend. If I was putting together a Georgia who's number one, who'd be in it? Yeah,
Ooh,
I think I'll
like
do that. Yeah, why not? I like pissing people off, especially early in the season.
The only question I have for you is if you're gonna do a Georgia who's number one, are you inviting Athens Christian because they're not in GHSA?
Georgia. The map of Georgia.
It doesn't matter. So same thing in Florida. You would include Lake Highland Prep.
Yeah, of course. I think you'd have to. I think you would have to.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think that would be foolish.
I have no problem with it. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like when we get further in the season, we will talk probably more GHSA than we will talk about GISA and things along those lines. But we're still going to talk about Iron Man. We're still going to talk about all those.
Them in Lake Highland are be going to some major events that we're going to have to talk about. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Which is why GISA might be superior. Anyways, put it to you like this: if my son was like in middle school now, we'd be going to a GISA school. I'm just being honest.
Why?
Because I could put him in Beast of the East, I could put him in Doc B, I could put him in Iron Man. We can go places.
Yeah.
State title. And here's the other thing: a Georgia State title means about as much as trying to spend a rupee in Alabama. It doesn't mean anything. So in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather be able to.
But it means something to those programs and everything else that have been established in the state of Georgia or the state of Florida.
Great.
Not everyone has the opportunity. Hang on. Not everyone has the opportunity to spend out $1,000 to get on a plane to fly to Doc B.
Agree. I understand that. But my counter is this. Currently, the GHSA's format in terms of how they look at wrestling national preps is nothing but a cancer to wrestling careers. It's just that simple. It's that simple. So if I want my son or daughter to have the opportunity to wrestle the cream of the crop, the top of the top, his best opportunity would be in a GISA school because you have more chances. And to boot, I would argue, if I'm at a top level university, what means more to me? A kid that won 3 Georgia State, I'll argue this because I feel like I'm a prime example of this. 3-time Georgia State champ or a 2-time National Preps All-American. I feel like that National Preps All-American might have more weight.
Well, it might, but I mean, take Michael Mako. I mean, he just wrestles for a Florida school. I mean, he doesn't go to national preps. He doesn't do any of those things. And why is he where he is? Well, he's there because he's won Fargo. He went to Worlds. He won Worlds.
I'm gonna ask you a question, right? And let's be pragmatic here. What helps him most there? In terms of getting noticed, like because I'm talking in terms of getting noticed by these schools. It's a game of notoriety more than anything. Now, Michael
I'm t-
Mako, do not rip my neck off my shoulders. The kid is a monster. I'm not
I'm
arguing
I'm
that.
I'm
That's
telling you
not.
right now. I'm telling you right now. We need to wrap this up. But
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now. There's a kid out there who not really well known, but he went to Elite Eight, and now he's getting a ton of attention. And you
absolutely.
can
I'm
make
not
it
arguing
happen.
that. That I'm not arguing.
You can make it happen. You don't have to go to national preps to make it happen.
But so this is last point.
Quickly.
You can get one or two chances at wrestling for GHSA depending on the year. You could get 6, 7, or 8 wrestling for a Jesus school. That's what I'm saying. You have more chances.
All right.
But
Peace out, man.
thank you for tuning in, everyone. Jason, as always, deuces. Good seeing you.
See ya.